All right. I think we're good. I think we're live. Let me just double
Lovely.
check. Yeah, I think. StreamYard.
Almighty, sir. Almighty.
There you go. It's done. How you doing, everybody? Welcome to the very first The Gamers podcast, number 1, with the Guitar Hero legend. Hang on, Lee. How you doing, Lee?
Oh my word, Guitar Hero legend, mate. I'm truly honoured. I'm truly honoured, mate. Yeah. How's it going? Welcome to the show. We've got no idea whatsoever what we're doing at this point.
No.
Gaz is cheating because he's got a prompter. So when I look at my camera, I'm doing it ad lib. So I don't feel like I should get bonus points for that, but it's how it is.
Right. So we didn't know if it was going to go ahead or not, but it is. So, like Lee said, we're just going to wing it for a bit and see how it goes.
I've got to say hi to Daz at this point.
Daz.
Good evening, sir. How are you, my friend?
Put a link to Lee's channel. Oh, that's true. That's an idea. Twitcheroo.
It's not actually live on my channel.
It's not live on yours?
No, I don't know how to do that.
Eternal.
Should it be live on mine?
What, on your StreamYard? Or YouTube?
No. I can see you on StreamYard and everything. I meant on YouTube. I thought it was just on yours.
Should be on.
Oh,
it should be live.
Oops.
Eternal. Sunday HD. There you go. So I'll just click then.
Raj, welcome on in, my friend. Are you talking to me or are you talking to Gaz? We love your face anyway.
There you go.
Well done, Gaz.
10
Excellent.
years.
Are we going to talk about video games?
Yeah. Right. So I think we'll leave BO6 till last. Or do you want to talk about it now?
Okay. Leave the what? Sorry, the
BO6 last. Or shall we talk about it now? Being it's hot topic on Twitter.
We can talk about it whenever you like.
Should we talk about it now?
But just bear in mind, yeah, we can talk about it now. Just bearing in mind that, officially it's not out, and
it's not out yet.
Things that I probably best not to talk about.
I suppose we could talk beta side of things.
Of course,
the guns and the maps. So, marking.
Gaz, tell me your honest impressions on Black Ops 6 from the beta. What did you think?
From the beta, comparing it to Modern Warfare 3, I know it's a totally different Call of Duty. That's Modern Warfare. This is Black Ops.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt a lot smoother. The guns felt better. The gameplay felt better. The maps, I can't really talk about the maps as much because we only had about 3 or 4 maps, didn't we, during the beta?
Yeah.
But what I played on the beta, I was quite impressed. I was very impressed.
Okay. I mean, look, don't get me wrong, mate. I'm not disagreeing that Modern Warfare 3 had its issues.
Yeah.
The maps in Modern Warfare 3 were phenomenal because they were the maps from the original Modern Warfare 2, which is, of all the Call of Duties in all the world, is my favorite one that they ever did, bar none. So Modern Warfare 3, for me, I feel like it was going to succeed in my estimations before it even started because of the maps.
Yeah.
There comes a point, Gaz, in every grown man's life where you've just got to accept that you're not very good at video games anymore. And during the course of Modern Warfare 3, where, there's maps like Rundown and Terminal and Wasteland, where I used to be able to get fucking nukes on command, right? I found myself getting absolutely decimated by kids. running around doing all these weird, funky slide cancel animations, jumping about like nobody's business. And I don't know, some of it is this the cross-platform element. So where you're playing on a controller, because I'm old, against kids on mouse and keyboards, it doesn't feel like
No, definitely not.
Somebody on a mouse and keyboard is pretty much 99 times out of 100 is going to be a controller player, just because it's just a better input system if you can do it. The challenge I had with Black Ops 6, as much as I was impressed by it and continue to be impressed by it, this Omni movement, this diving around and aiming your gun whilst you're falling and everything. Don't get me wrong, right? It's excellent, and it feels, I will agree with you, it feels incredibly smooth. In reality, right, it feels like it's learning a new controller method for some 40-plus-year-old gamer like me, whose hand-eye coordination and reflex time is not what it was years ago. And I found myself getting absolutely battered every single game. I am very much looking forward to the montages of people that master this Omni movement, because it's gonna show us some really, really cool things that people can do. The problem is I can't do them, and I feel at a disadvantage straight away. Like the whole dive and aim at the same time was just lost on me, like completely lost. I can't do it.
Aiming's enough.
Exactly, I can't do it. So I found myself getting absolutely smashed to pieces. To the point where, in all brutal honesty, mate, in terms of the multiplayer, I think I'm checked out before I even start with it. Because, as lovely as it looks and as fun as it no doubt is, I just have to put my hands up here and go, I'm just not very good at it anymore. I'm just not. It's like watching my 10-year-old kid play Fortnite. Now, I've never played Fortnite. I've never gotten into Fortnite. I know nothing about Fortnite other than, fuck Fortnite for destroying the video games industry, right? Because it has, okay? Like, years ago, it would be, kids would say, yeah, I play video games, love video games. And it's like, oh, what do you play? And it's like, oh, I play Spyro, I play Crash Bandicoot, I play a bit of Mario, play Sonic the Hedgehog. Sometimes my dad lets me play Grand Theft Auto. I play Assassin's Creed, I play this and the other. And now it's kind of like, kids are like, yeah, I play video games. All right, cool. What do you play? Fortnite. Right. What else do you play?
Fortnite.
What do you mean? What else? Well, there's other video games, mate, other than Fortnite. Sir? Oh, didn't know that. But like watching my 10-year-old kid play Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like he'll get into a duel with somebody, like right near the end. There's like only a handful of them alive. And then by the time I've blinked, right, he's built this fucking thing up in the sky. Like he's built all these things and he's like running around it and like, Ed, what is going on, mate? What is happening in this game? Oh, I'm just building it so he can't shoot. Honestly, and I can't fathom, like, my hand-eye coordination and thought process just doesn't factor into being able to do that game. So why bother trying to learn it? And
That's why I always go for zero build.
Yeah, I appreciate that Fortnite has got a zero build, which, if I ever do play Fortnite, I don't know, maybe one day on Twitch, I'll do a subathon or something, right? And maybe I'll put one of the stretch goals as I will play Fortnite, right? But I know I'm going to be shit at it because it's one of those games that everybody's going to be better at it than me because I've got no idea what to do, what it is, how to play it or anything. Battle Royale as a genre has completely passed me by. So, Call of Duty Warzone isn't really for me. In terms of Black Ops 6, mate, I will be honest, I am very much looking forward to the campaign because the campaign is in a time period that interests me, that I remember reasonably well. There's certain elements of historical accuracy to it. So yeah, I think it's going to be really good. Just and again, obviously, caveat here the fact that I've worked on some of the marketing and stuff for it, so I know what happens in the campaign. And it's actually as Black Ops tends to be. It's a very good story.
Yeah.
It's got some very interesting things going on with it. So I am looking forward to playing Black Ops 6 tomorrow. I genuinely am, but I'm going to play the campaign and maybe even the
First.
zombies. Yes, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
I will. I think. Look, mate, I probably won't be able to resist tomorrow night because I'll log into my PS5 and every single person on my friends list will be playing Call of Duty.
Yeah.
And I will sit there and I will go, nope, I'm going to play the campaign first. I can't do the multiplayer. I'm going to be crap at it. But you're going to send me a party invite, or Wiggy's going to send me a party invite, or Dan's going to send me a party invite. And I'll just be like, I'll have one game. Just one. I'll have one game, see how bad I am at it.
And then another one.
And then, yeah, I'll level up. And then it'll be like, I'll just wait until I get a good gun that I feel at home with. And before I know it, mate, I've thrown 40 hours of my life away into multiplayer.
Just have a bottle of whiskey next to you, you'll be fine.
Well, mate, that is always something that happens. You know, you can't go anywhere with me without a bottle
You
of
got
whiskey.
one.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Is that
me
ready
and-
for tomorrow?
It's ready for whenever I need it. It was mine and Deb's wedding anniversary. So we went away last night.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much, mate. But I found myself having to take whiskey.
Oh,
Just,
right, okay.
You know, I've got so set in my ways of having a shot of whiskey before bed that I couldn't not do it.
Well, you know what I'm looking forward to on Black Ops 6?
What's that, mate?
The Black Ops 2 map, Yemen. I love that map.
Which one?
Do you remember
was
what that one?
Yemen.
I'm trying to think whereabouts it was now.
Well, I
Black
presume
Ops-
it's in
Black Ops 2
Yemen.
Yemen. Yeah. It was honestly, it was a really good map.
Let me have a look at some images from it. Was it Black Ops 2, you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that map.
Do you remember?
I do remember that map. Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually. That was a decent map.
That was a brilliant map. I can't
So
wait to play that one.
that's in the new one,
Yes.
or remastered. And what about the Black Ops speciality of Nuketown?
Don't even talk to me about Nuketown.
Are you a pro Nuketown player, or are you a fuck Nuketown, it's worse than Rust player?
Sod Nuketown? Bugger it off. I don't want it.
Okay. Okay. I'm with you on that, mate. I am with you on that. It's when those little maps come up, Rust, Shipment, and pretty much every map that they added into Modern Warfare 3 post-launch, they were all tiny. Oh, they can all get in the sea.
Yeah.
And again, I understand why people like them because the action is relentless. But the amount of times playing Shipment that I would spawn and die immediately. And it's not, I can't even blame my old man reflexes on it. It's literally like the game would put you down and someone is there shooting somebody else and you just spawn in the crossfire. And you're kind of like, cool, well, that's my kill death ratio shagged for the day. Like, thanks, game. Like, please don't do that. I always felt like Nuketown was another one of those, wasn't it? It's just I've got my play style with Call of Duty is old school because you know I don't want to use the word camper, but I'm a little bit of a camper, as in you know I'm not very. You play to your strengths in Call of Duty, right? So I'm not very good at running and gunning. I'm really not. I'm crap at it. Okay. Whereas if I've got a place where I can scope the map, I can spot somebody, and I've got the time to aim at them, fire, and everything, I can normally do all right. Okay. If you want to call that camping, that's absolutely fine. I don't sit there behind a door with a shotgun and wait and get 5 kills and 0 deaths and declare myself a god. That I don't do that, but I do. Every map that loads up, I have certain places that I will go to each time because I'm comfortable playing there. And the problem I always had with Nuketown is that there is nowhere that suits my playstyle to let me do that. Because the other caveat is I cannot use a sniper rifle in that game.
No, I can't.
I just can't do it. I either get the sensitivity too high, so it's aiming like I'm using a mouse, or I get it so slow that it's like aiming a cannon on Sea of Thieves. Like it and I can't get the balance, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So yeah, I always have to use like an LMG or an assault rifle or a battle rifle or something like that. And just those small maps just don't work for how I want to play, and how I'm good at playing. So yeah, I always get frustrated playing them because I suck at them. So
Well, the only time we play these little maps is if me and Daz we get bored of multi, and we go into like a custom game and we do like a 1v1 or something. So we'd either go on Shipment or I can't remember the other one. But there's there is a few, but Daz always puts me on Shipment. I kill him loads of times.
Yeah,
with, like loads of things.
Me and my buddy did that for a little while. So Modern Warfare 3, I got to the point of playing it and just I wasn't finding myself enjoying it. So again, the scene set here. My buddy comes over, or I go over to his every Friday. It's a Friday night thing that's a tradition for me and my best mate, and we've been doing it forever, like forever. I can't remember when it even started. It was, it's just our Friday night thing, and obviously, things have changed. Kids have been had, wives have been married, but we still do it every Friday. And we used to, we've been through so many games. Like we played games co-op. We used to play Rock Band together. So he'd do the drums, I'd do the guitar, and then we'd swap. We went through a time of playing FIFA or EAFC, whatever it's called now. NHL, ice hockey, Madden, NFL. We played a load of games co-op. But he's got a real love for Call of Duty. Despite the fact, and again, I mean, if he's watching, I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he is fucking awful at it. Like, beyond awful. Just frustratingly bad. There were games back in the Modern Warfare 2 360 heyday when I'd go like 42-2 in Team Deathmatch, and he'd be like 1-30. And it's just like, he'd sit there like, oh, the fucking cheats. It's like, mate, they're really not. Like, look at my kill streak go and all this sort of thing. But he insisted on playing Call of Duty for ages. And I said to him like 6, 7, 8 weeks before we stopped, I was just like, mate, I'm done with this game. Like, I can't keep playing it. Like, I'm not having fun. And if you're not having fun playing a game, you're doing it wrong. You're playing the wrong game. Simple as. But yeah, we then got to the point where I sort of said to him, look, rather than play online, where it's all these people doing all these slide cancel animations and jumping around, using spacebar on their PC and one-shotting me from 650 meters away with a pistol and all the questionable things that happen in, just public lobbies that aren't ranked, because they don't feel like they're policed particularly well. And also the frustrations around, you've got no way of stopping yourself being matched with PC players with mouse and keyboard, which again, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong, but it's like as a controller player, you just don't want to play against them because they're vastly better than you. It's just how it is. Like, so no disrespect to them. It's just, I don't want to play against you because you're too good at it. But yeah, so we started playing private matches. We just set up and put a load of bots on and everything. And we actually had a little bit of fun for a good few weeks, just playing kind of like offline private matches, the two of us in private lobbies. I did a few on TikTok where I invited people into private lobbies and we scoped it out then with bots as well. That was good fun. But again, it just came to a point where it's like there's only so many times I can play against bots on recruit difficulty because even if I put them up to regular, he complained that they're too hard. So yeah, you then have to kind of go, right, okay, cool, I'm done with this game now, mate. Like, I need to uninstall it to stop you playing it so that we can play something else together. So yeah, I mean, we've not really moved on to anything though. We've just kind of, I don't know, he's been playing a game called Humankind. Which is a puzzle game, a bit like Lemmings. And I've been sat playing whatever I play on a Friday night. I've just finished Red Dead Redemption, the original. So I bought that on PS4 because it's got a 60 FPS PS5 patch, which was lovely. So yeah, I've just played through the original Red Dead Redemption. And tomorrow night, you know, who know? I mean, I'm sat here going, I don't know what we're going to play, but we're going to play Black Ops. It's just going to happen, you know. As much as I say, pretend that I'm not. But yeah, no, I'm hoping he might. He's finally joining the ranks of the PlayStation club as well.
Wow.
I think he's picking up a PS5 on payday. I think he's a little sick of the fact that I'm never online on my Xbox anymore because, you know, other than a Friday night, I don't really use it. So yeah.
I can remember a few years ago, you used to be on all the time on Modern Warfare 2.
Yeah, I mean,
on Twitch.
I was. Those are the days, mate. To be honest, I used to really enjoy it back then. But again, it's like the Gen 7 version of Modern Warfare 2, as in like the Xbox 360 PS3 version.
Yeah.
I put in so many hours into that game that I was never incredibly great at it, but there were two things that I mastered with that game. The first one was map knowledge. So I got very good at knowing the maps and having spots in the maps to work with. Yeah. And the second one was drop shotting, which again, when I was streaming on Twitch, I remember some guy in my chat was just like, "Oh, invite me into your game. You need to learn how to drop shot because, you know, you're not bad, but you need to learn how to drop shot." And I was just like, I don't even know what that is, mate. I'm not going to lie. And it's literally, I mean, we all know what it is now. It's holding down the crouch button and shooting. But I was saying to him at the point, I was like, it's really hard to do because you have to hold down the B button on the Xbox to crouch and then go prone. And he was just like, "Oh, just bring up your menu and change your stick controls to tactical, and then the crouch is on your right analog stick." And as soon as I did that, it was like, oh shit, yeah. So again, he just taught me the mindset. As soon as I'm moving, running anywhere, like traveling from place to place, and I see an enemy, the instinct shouldn't be to go to your left trigger. The instinct should be to hold down your right stick before you do anything.
Yeah.
Because by going prone, you eliminate 90% of your hitbox. Excuse me. So yeah, it was really good advice. And once I got good at doing that, that game became a piece of piss online.
I never really played Modern Warfare 2 so much. I only played when you was on, I think. That's as much as I played it.
Yeah, it was a great one, mate.
Because I started on Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah, I remember playing Modern Warfare 3 a couple of times with you. I remember you bugging me to play it. And Modern Warfare 3 never clicked into gear for me. I remember the first time I played Modern Warfare 3, I was a store manager at Game, so I got a copy of it, I think a day before it came out, maybe 2 days before it came out. Yeah. And I went home that night and I was like, right, I can't play it online because, you know, I can't. There's no servers up, but I can play the campaign. And I remember putting it straight on Veteran because all the achievements were done on Veteran. And I remember going through the campaign in a night on Veteran. And it was just, it was all right. I loved Call of Duty 4, the first Modern Warfare. Like that was god tier campaign. Modern Warfare 2, the campaign for that felt like a bit like a, what's his name? Michael Bay. You know Michael Bay, the director, Transformers and shit like that, right? You've got a standard Michael Bay action movie, right? It's the sort of thing that you watch on a Saturday night because you know at no point during the movie will you need to engage your brain at any point. It is just visual effect after fight, after visual effect, after fight, end credits, done. Yeah. Modern Warfare 2 was basically the video game version of a Michael Bay movie. It was just set piece after set piece with fucking mental story developments and stuff, and wholly unbelievable for the most part. But you got to the end credits and you went, yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed that. Modern Warfare 3 wasn't. It was like I don't know. It was like Transformers: Age of Extinction. Like it's run its course by this point. Like just stop, kind of thing. So yeah, I remember finishing the campaign on Veteran in a night. I think it took me about 5 or 6 hours. and I was a bit disappointed with it. And then I remember playing the multiplayer, and in the first game that I got online and played, I was quick scoped 7 times in my
the same
first
person?
multiplayer. No, by like 2 or 3 different players.
Oh.
And again, it's one of those. I respect the people that have got the ability to quick scope. I can't do it. Right?
No.
So it's really irritating when it's like the whole downside of having a sniper rifle is that if you get in close quarter combat, you're buggered. And yet quick scoping means that you're not.
No.
And it's like, cool. So you can batter me from a distance and I can't play fair. And you can batter me close up. I can't play fair. And I think it was literally like 2 or 3 rounds of that game online. And I was like, no, I'm going back to Modern Warfare 2 because it's better in every way. So yeah. But again, it's each to their own, isn't it, mate? Everyone's got their favorite Call of Duty. And, you know, I've seen it a few times. And it always happens kind of like this year with the run up to the new one launching, the amount of people that upload to YouTube, like top 5 Call of Duties of all time kind of thing. And I never agree with them. I never, ever agree with them.
No.
Because very few people put Modern Warfare 2 from 2009 at number 1. It's always COD 4 or it's always Black Ops 2. Those are the ones that everyone always picks as number 1. It's like, I appreciate both games, right? But they're just not my favorite. So it's entirely subjective. But
you know what I miss though with Call of Duty? The midnight launches at game.
I miss midnight launches.
I love them.
They were just, and mate, I mean, as a guy that was a store manager that used to run them, they could be an absolute pain in the ass. And there was something, you know, I look back on it now and it's kind of like the expectations that senior management, you know, insert video game retailer here, would have of staff around midnights was fucking preposterous at times. You know, you'd work. I mean, my store, you know, where I made a name for myself, said retailer was a store at the Ricoh Arena in Coventry. So Coventry City Football Club Stadium. It's built next door to a massive Tesco, and there's like a shopping mall at the front of the Tesco, and that's where my store was. But because it was a 24-hour Tesco, we used to open at 9 a.m. in the morning and we'd close at 10 o'clock at night. So the store was open for 13 hours a day. So it became clear very quickly that, you know, I needed quite a big management team because I can't be there from 9 a.m. till 10 p.m. every day, 5 days a week. It's
impossible.
It's impossible. But at the same time, when it came to midnight launches, we'd close at 10 o'clock and then we'd have to open again at midnight. So it was pointless sending the staff home.
Yeah.
You know, because for most of them, it's like, because it's like right on the edge, like the northeastern edge of Coventry. If they lived in the south of Coventry, it would take them 45 minutes to get home. And then it would take them 45 minutes to get back. If they could get back at midnight, you know, if buses are running and stuff like that. So, yeah, the amount of times that it would be like, right, we'll close at 10 o'clock and then we just dick around in the store for a couple of hours until we have to open again. But there was always like stuff to get ready and things like that. But there was nothing better than when people, you know, it got to the point as well, mate, where it would be 10 o'clock and we'd kick people out of the store and they'd literally just sit down in front of the shutter because they were waiting for the midnight launch. They'd queue for 2 hours and just think nothing of it. And it was amazing, mate, because we all, you know, there was always goodies and stuff for people. There was always reasons to go out and do it. And it was just the fanfare. Like, you know, I remember doing it when I bought things, and it was kind of the great thing about midnight launches is that, you know, every single person is there for the same reason. You know, everyone shares the same passion. Everyone's interested in the same thing. Yeah. So it's really easy to have those conversations with people.
And there's like that atmosphere as well, isn't there?
Yeah. You couldn't beat it, mate. You couldn't beat
everybody
it.
was all hyped up and they want to buy it, they want to play it. And I just loved it.
That was exactly it. It was just, it was an experience back in the day, mate. And it's a shame because that's one of the things that digital distribution will never give you, that sense of, shared excitement among, a bunch of peers. Unless, I don't know, I guess in this day and age, you sit in Discord, don't you? Or you sit in like an Xbox party and you're all waiting while your game downloads at midnight. It's not quite the same. Like it's just not the same. But again, mate, I've always been a a big proponent of physical games ownership. Digital isn't for me in terms of purchasing. I don't mind subscriptions. Like, I've got Game Pass, I've got PS Plus Extra, and I'll claim the free games from Epic and stuff like that. But my Steam library, compared to every other platform that I've got, is remarkably small. I just don't like. The thing with digital for me is that you buy the game, right?
Yeah. You
play it, and then that's it. You delete it. Like it just sits in your library, taking up hard drive space, so you just uninstall it. It's not like, there was a point not long ago where I can't even remember who it was. I was talking about Astrobot on PS5.
Yeah.
And one of my buddies sort of said to me, "Oh, is it genuinely good?" I was like, "Mate, it's probably my favorite game of the year so far. It's so good. Like, I loved Astrobot." And he sort of said, "Yeah, I might pick it up." And then he came back to me. He was like, "Shit, it's like 60 quid on the PSN store." And I was like, "Bloody hell, mate! I paid 50 for it on a disc. And if you can wait a week until I've platinumed it, you can borrow my copy. Don't buy it, mate. You can just borrow it off me." And then he sort of said, "Oh shit, I've only got a digital PS5." Here comes. There's the cough. Get it out, Gaz.
Got to tap the mute.
Yeah, tap the mute. Yeah. So in the end, I couldn't actually lend it to him because he had no way of playing it because he only had a digital. But I guess it's a bit of a giveaway behind me about the fact that I'm quite a proponent of physical media.
It's like complete, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't beat it. You can't beat it. Lee's froze. Dazza says, "Am I frozen?"
Is it froze?
Sorry, I've
moved and then it froze
the
again.
Oh,
you're moving now.
Am I all right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're moving now.
I was just going to sit here, see how still I can make myself. Yeah, I'm bored of that.
Oh, Dad says you're all good.
Oh, Mr. Restall's here as well. This is the part where I press the ding button. Although I've just moved everything over from my old PC to my new PC.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd put everything on my external hard drives, but I didn't put all my Stream Deck stuff. So I've got to do it all again. I could just unplug in my other PC and just move it. But I got in such a mess with my Stream Deck before. Like so many folders. So yeah, rather than break it all again, I'm gonna fix it. I remember when Tesco released COD and FIFA a day early. Dazza, mate, they used to do that all the time.
God,
honestly, as a manager of a specialist games retailer, it used to piss me right off when that happened.
I can't need to finish Astrobot, yeah. FIFA.
No, it didn't do it for me either. Game Pass has made games such a throwaway. Mr. Restall, you are right. Oh shit, it was you! Do you know what? That's the most random thing of all things. So that story that I just told you about Astrobot, about wanting to lend it to one of my mates, and he didn't have a console to play it on.
Is that it, Alex?
That's him, yeah. That is him.
Oh yeah, that was me, lol.
To make it worse, if you buy digital, it's not actually yours. Daz, if this was my stream, mate, I'd be pressing the round of applause button. Because that's the thing. It's not. You don't own it.
No.
I know there's been like some rule change in California I was reading about where in Steam now that you're not allowed to use the term purchase or buy or anything like that. Because and they've had to put in like the terms when you click to pay your money that what you are actually doing is not buying something. You don't own the piece of software that you're about to transact for. Digital downloads are essentially paying to rent an executable file to run a piece of software. That's basically what digital is. It's like, because if you read the end user license agreements for every digital game, every platform, every store, they all have that right to remove the product from you at any point. Now, admittedly, the overwhelming majority of publishers or developers or studios don't do that, but there are occasions where they do, where content that you've paid for gets taken off you. And it's kind of, people should be more aware of that. It's like, if you buy, I don't know, like whatever Xbox 360 game on a store, and at some point, for whatever licensing reasons or, reasons around servers or capacity to download stuff or whatever it would be, that, the seller then decides, actually, no, you can't have this product anymore because we've got no way of hosting it, right? We're just going to remove it from your library. You can't touch it. That's it. You're done. You're absolutely done. Whereas, I've got it on a disc, so I can just take my Xbox offline and I can put my disc in and I can still play it. So I own that physical media, whereas any digital game that you've ever bought, you don't own shit. You've just paid to rent an executable file, which is more for you, to be honest.
That's another thing with physical copies. I love having the physical copies. Plus, do you remember the NES cartridges when they used to have the booklets?
Oh, mate,
I love the booklets. I miss
so
them.
I did a unboxing on my YouTube last week of an Evercade system.
Yes.
Which is like a fully licensed retro games system. In fact, I've got one right there.
I'll put a link in the
give me a sec.
chat. Okay. Find it. YouTube.
I come prepared. So this is one of the cartridges that I bought. I bought this one separately. So this is the Toplan Arcade Collection 1. So it's a little cartridge with 8 games included, including the original Snow Brothers and also Tiger Heli, which is excellent. The games come on a little cartridge like that, which is all lovely. So it's a proper physical cartridge. You can blow into it as well.
But does it work?
Yeah,
Blowing
absolutely.
it into it.
It does, yeah. Of course, it fixes everything, mate. It's like turning things off and turning things on. But this one also came. You ready, Gaz?
Yeah, go for it.
It's an instruction book.
Manual.
Yeah, it's got instructions for each of the game. It's got all history of the developer, the genesis of Toplan. Look at that. You've got stuff to read. So if you imagine that you've gone to the shop and you've bought this, right? As a kid, you rip open the box in the car on the way home while your mum or your dad's driving you, right? And you sit and read the manual. Because by the time you get back, you know how to control the game. You know what you're doing, And even better than that, Gaz, this one also came. This is like proper old school. Look at what this one came with. Came with a poster.
A poster.
In the box.
That's what they used to do with the Super Mario Brothers NES
they did.
games.
They did, yeah. And not only that, right? Do you remember when they used to do this as well?
Yes.
You had a checklist.
Yes.
All the games that you might want. Look.
Oh, I love it.
They put them all on a poster. Fucking outstanding. So yeah, the kind of retro lover in me. I lost my shit a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, mate. I thought this was an absolutely fantastic thing. But yeah, like honestly, mate, I did that unboxing video. The console came bundled with the Tomb Raider collection, which is Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 from the PS1. Absolutely top tier emulation, like really perfect.
Yeah.
You've got different screen options, so you can have it like original, or you can have it what they call pixel perfect, which gets rid of the jaggy edges, or you can have it expanded, so you can have it like 1080p. But yeah, like the controller's got no analog sticks on it, so it is literally like playing Tomb Raider on a PS1. You know, all the difficult controls and everything. So yeah, I remember finishing Tomb Raider 1, thinking I was an absolute god at video games. And here's me stuck on the 4th level on Tomb Raider. I cannot do it. Like I can't control her well enough to do the level. But I've had a lot of fun doing it at the same time. Although Toplan has also taken over my life. For the first time in my life, admittedly, I did abuse save states, but let's not talk about that. I actually finished Tiger Heli. I'm a god of video games. Fact. So yeah, that was I don't know how we got onto that, mate, but yes, I do remember when video games came in manuals. That was what I was going to say.
I think it was because we was talking about digital with Astrobot, digital and physical copies.
Yeah,
it just made me think of like all the manuals you used to get with the games. And
yeah, I totally agree, mate. I totally agree. It's just to be fair though, mate. Like even some games. Oh no, that one didn't.
So you could actually buy a game, put it in the console, and play it straight away. You don't put it in and then wait for it to download, wait for an update, and then the PlayStation has to restart, and then.
That's exactly it, mate. It wasn't actually all that long ago. Look, that's a 360 game. That's one that I bought for the collection. Oh God, don't even start, mate. It's Harry Potter for Kinect. Right. So if it being a Harry Potter game isn't bad enough for you, right? This is one that you have to pretend to wave your arms about at. Amazing. But when you open it, mate, look, it's got a manual. It's got a manual. It's even got like some information about the Kinect.
Yeah.
And it's even got the original calibration card, which when you take out and turn over,
about them, yeah.
It's one of those little smiley face things. So yeah, that's all included in it. So like that to me, and again, you know, the game's on a disc. So at some point, you know, in the future, when you know J.K. Rowling has some kind of like, you know, shit, I've only got £1 billion left, so I need to remove every license for everything that I've ever done ever in the past. You're kind of buggered. In the same way that if you bought this game digitally and, you know, let's say Warner Brothers lose the rights for it, at some point, you know, you can envision a situation where a licensed game like that, they kind of go, no, you can't have that anymore. I've still got it because I've got it on a disc. You can't take it away from me unless you break into my house and steal it. Please don't do that. Don't do that.
If you do, just leave the 360 games.
Yeah, leave them. Take my dog. Take my kids. Take my wife. Just leave my games. I'm kidding. I'm kidding on all accounts.
Did you ever have the Kinect?
I did.
Did you ever use it to like just have a look around your room, see if there was anything?
Have a look around my room?
Yeah. Did you put it in what they call it, night vision?
No.
Did you ever try that?
No. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, there was. I when we was at the other place before Dad was diagnosed with MND, I sat in my bedroom with the lights off. I got the Kinect turned on, and I put it on infrared or night mode, and honestly, right, something had walked behind me from one wall into the next. Literally, a white shadow walked right behind me, and you could see it. God's honest truth. And that was using the night mode on the Kinect. It wasn't
hairs
a game
on my arms have gone
anything.
up. Oh, mate, I hate it. Oh. When Lucy looked behind. It's no, mate. That's one of those that I bet you wish back in the time that you had that kind of like the setup that we've got in today's day and age. Yeah, where you could have just recorded it.
Yeah, that would have been good because nobody would believe me. Nobody.
You sure you had your glasses on, Gaz?
I did.
No, I never. No, I didn't. To be honest, yeah, Kinect. I mean, the original 360 one, I played Kinectimals for the achievements.
Yeah.
I tried Kinect Sports. I got really drunk at a New Year's party once and played Dance Central. I was a bit of a machine at Lady Gaga's Poker Face. But that's pretty much all I ever played with Kinect. I did try. What was that game that the guy that made Rez made? Child of Eden. I did try Child of Eden with Rez with Kinect, but it was terrible, so I went back to a controller. But yeah, I mean, mate, when I normally unbox games on my Twitch stream and it has the Kinect logo, as soon as it comes to shit or not shit, it gets put in the shit pile because it's a Kinect game, and it's just a garbage piece of tech.
It never
Kinect
worked
2,
half the time, did it?
no, it didn't. Kinect 2 wasn't much better, to be honest.
No.
I remember I was quite attracted to the idea of the voice stuff that you could do with Kinect 2.
Yeah.
So like you could walk into your room and say Xbox on.
Yeah.
But it never seemed to work properly. Like I'd walk in, I'd sit down, I'd be like, Xbox on. Xbox on. All right. Just get up and turn it on or press the button on the controller. And but yeah, it's like it. I remember once I was sat on a Skype call with one of my colleagues. So I was working in marketing by this point, and yeah, we were just sat on a Skype call talking about something. And you know when you've got a sneeze brewing, you know that feeling, that warm fuzzy feeling that you get where you're just like, here it comes, right? Bear with me a second because this is going to be a good one. And then, I sneezed and it was a great, that's true, like that. And the next noise I heard was, and my fucking Xbox turned on. And it's like, okay, cool. So when I say Xbox on and you do nothing, right? And then I sneeze randomly a week later and it just turned my Xbox on. The other one that sorry to go on about Kinect 2 as well. The other one that used to really piss me off was when Microsoft first launched the Xbox One and the adverts came on. And at the start of the adverts, they always said Xbox on. And that would work every single time. Yeah, my Xbox would just turn on. And it's, oh, for God's sake, like, of course I haven't got my controller or anything with me. And you'd be like, Xbox turn off, Xbox shut down. And it's like, no, not having any of it. I had to get up and turn it off with a button. That used to annoy me.
They used to troll people with it as well, didn't they? On stream. When they used to have text to speech.
There was the guy that had his gamer tag as Xbox sign out.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that? And he used to troll people on Call of Duty. Wait till they got in a corner and he'd lie prone in front of them when you couldn't jump over them. So, like, you then get the guy in the microphone, like, dude, move out of the way. Dude, move. Xbox sign out. And then they just, like...
they just disappear.
Oh, that guy was brilliant. I think they changed it because of that. I remember reading, I don't know whether that was true. I remember reading, like, MCV or Eurogamer or something, that they actually then added another step. So when you said Xbox sign out, it would come up and say, are you sure you want to sign out? And you'd have to go, yes! Like, but literally because of that guy, like, trolling everybody in all these games, they added another step. Brilliant. What a dude. What an absolute dude. So, yeah. I do remember. But, yeah, no, I mean, Kinect always seemed like a bit of a gimmick to me.
Yeah.
In the same way that VR feels like a gimmick. Just a... better executed. How are you with VR, mate?
Oh, I can play it all day.
Can you?
Yeah.
See, I'm quite jealous of that.
See, mum's tried it. Dad tried it, and it made them feel like a bit sick.
Yeah, same.
But I could be on it all day.
Yeah. See, if it's a game where I'm grounded, like a driving game, I'm fine. Tetris Effect, weirdly, absolutely fine. Beat Saber, absolutely fine. Anything that involves moving a character.
Like Astrobot.
Yeah, like Astrobot. Skyrim in VR. Doom in VR. Like, just literally like 2 minutes and I'm green and thrown up. Just cannot The motion sickness kills me with it. It's a real shame as well because everybody says that like Resident Evil 7 is like an absolute masterpiece in VR. Not that I'd ever have the balls to play it. I mean, I haven't even had the balls to play it.
I played it on VR, and I think I've got it on Twitch somewhere. I literally screamed like a girl, and there was somebody on my headset, and I deafened them, and I didn't realise it was somebody like a zombie or somebody had come out the morgue, and I didn't realise. And I was like, walked straight into him, and I went, ah! Like a lot louder than that, but I screamed like a girl. But honestly, it is a completely different game altogether in VR.
I mean,
especially when that bloke runs after you.
Mate, I played it. I played it Resident Evil 7 on stream for about 2 hours with my wife.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't remember. And it was just the most terrifying thing I think I've ever done. I'm so bad with horror. I just can't. I can't do it. I genuinely, mate, I can't do it. I cannot stomach horror games at all. I sat and watched a guy play Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
And like, again, how people play that game. Because that game, it's not like the alien arrives in set places or at set times or anything. It's like completely random. Like you can just be going about and then all of a sudden that fucking thing is there. And like you've got to get away and try and hide and survive. But it's like you're so on edge, endlessly, like hyper aware of like where this thing is. And I don't know, like I just can't stomach those sort of things.
What about Phasmophobia?
Never played it. That's the co-op one, isn't it? Where you have to hunt
like
ghosts
ghost hunting. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That is seriously good.
I saw I think I watched Spammels play that for a little while. And it was one of those that, like, as much as so Spammels is like a Twitch streamer that I will very regularly he's almost become my new Spotify. So when I get bored of listening to music, I go on Twitch while I'm working and I will just lurk in a chat because it's just ammunition for my ears kind of thing. Helps me focus and helps me think, to be honest. And he's my go-to guy that I sit and listen to because I could listen to him narrate things all day long. So I sat and watched him play Phasmophobia a little bit a few years back. And I mean, even watching somebody else play it scared the shit out of me.
Would you play it?
I don't know. I feel like this is the time of year to play that sort of thing. But
yeah, would you do it? Would you get it?
Mate, I'm just. I don't know. I'd probably. I'd be half tempted to sit in a brightly lit room with my wife and think about playing it, right? But the idea of doing it on stream, I can't, mate, because I'd get the piss taken out of me to such an extent. Because, like, honestly, so in my life, I have broken one controller. One controller. That's the only controller I've ever broken in my life. I didn't break it because, I got frustrated at fucking Dark Souls. I didn't break it because I had a last minute goal going against me at FIFA. I didn't break it because, I was on a 24 kill streak on Modern Warfare 2 and some shit quickscoped me and cost me my nuke. I can deal with those things. Like, I don't tend to rage at games. The one time I've ever broken a controller was playing Dead Space, the original Dead Space on Xbox 360.
Oh, that's supposed to be good. I haven't played it myself.
So right near the start of the game, there's a point where you're kind of like walking through an abandoned ship and you're like, okay, I know this is a horror game. I know something's going to jump out and scare me. And it's like the game had come out and all my staff had bought it and they were raving about it. And I was just like, no, it's a horror game. I'm not going to play it. And they convinced me that it wasn't. They were just like, it's not a horror game, really, mate. It's there's a bit psychological, but there's no jump scares in it. I was like, no. All right, I'll give it a go. So, half an hour into the game, whatever it was, I'm really edging around, like really, really closely. And there's a point where I seem to remember I'm on the upper floor and I need to go down to the lower floor and there's a lift. And it's like one of those old chain link lifts, and it's like something's gonna jump out at me. So I prepped myself. I was like, edging closer to it, thinking something's gonna jump up over the railings, or something's gonna drop down, or something's gonna happen. I walk towards it, and there might have been a light flicker or something like that, but it's like, no, that's okay.
Yeah.
I press the button to call the lift, and the lift comes up, and it's like, okay, where's this thing that's going to scare me? Oh, there isn't one. Okay, so I got in the lift, went down in the lift, and it's like the door's open. It's like the second I step out, it's going to fucking have me. And I step out, nothing happened. It's like, okay, this is all going okay. So, I walked forward, and I think there was an objective to pick something. I don't know, whatever. I can't really remember. And then I went back up in the lift. And by this point, I was kind of a bit more relaxed, because it's like, well, my staff said it's like more psychological than it is jump scare. And that was the place that you could have had me, because where I'm expecting it. And so I kind of just walked out of the lift when I went back up without really thinking. And then it got me. And it just, whatever happened in the game. And, again, I'm just so glad that Twitch wasn't a thing in those days, because I squealed, just like you did when you played whatever game it was,
Resi.
When you played Resi. But when I squealed, I jumped and I let go of my controller, which flew to the ceiling, hit the ceiling, and then landed on the floor. And by the time I'd picked it up and, taken a walk around the room to get over myself and picked my controller up, it was fucked. Literally, the left stick was knackered. It was stuck in space, and I'd broken one of the triggers. It didn't work. So that is the only time in my life I've ever broken a controller, and it was a jump scare in Dead Space that made me throw it that's responsible for it. So no, I don't play horror games as much as I love to. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it at some point for a laugh. Although when I played Resident Evil, my wife told me it'd be a really funny idea to change one of my channel alerts.
Oh, like a jump scare alert.
Yeah, but it was for bits. So it was I had a sound effect when people cheered bits.
Yeah.
But it was she was just oh, change that to a horror thing. I was like, okay, cool. So I did that, and it was it then became the thing where it wasn't the game that was making me jump. It was the fucking idiots in my chat that were just oh, here's 10 bits. This will be funny. For fuck's sake. Yeah, I remember Insane Wolf was an absolute sod for that. Yeah, he got me good a few times. Although I was watching him, he was streaming a horror game. He was streaming A Quiet Place, which is obviously based on the films. But yeah, it wasn't really a horror game as such, because you can't make any noise basically.
Is that the one with the mic? If you make noise.
Yeah, although he had that turned off, because obviously if you're streaming and you can't talk, it's a bit of a problem, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
So, but in the game, there's a thing that you can hold up and you can see how much noise you're making and stuff, and you have to put sand on the ground to soften your footsteps and things. But it's just kind of you can always see where the thing is, when it's about, so it's not really when you fucked up because it just jumps and eats you, and it's not so much a horror game. But he had a scary noise channel alert that you could just spend your channel points on. So I tried a few times to get him on that, but the problem with his setup was that he has the game on the monitor in front of him, and then he's got a monitor literally to the side, and he's got his chat right there. Yeah. So of course, as soon as you do a channel alert, you know how it pops up in your chat 5 seconds before it actually happens. So it's you'd see him glance, and then it'd be he's seen it, and then the alert would happen. He'd be like, "Yeah, no, you didn't get me." It's but if you hadn't looked, mate, turn your screen off, and I might have a chance. But he wouldn't. But but it's I do like interactions and stuff like that. But it's I'm just not good with the horror games, mate. I'm really not.
Oh, they are good though. They are good, especially Phasmophobia.
Do you remember PT? That was Kojima, wasn't it? PT. That was the Silent Hills thing.
PT. I never played Silent Hills.
Yeah, it was I think it's stuff like playable teaser or something like that. It was really short, so it was like a demo. And again, this is the pitfalls of digital, right? So it was like a playable demo that they put on the PlayStation Store. I think it was on the PS3, and was it PS4? I can't remember. It's either PS3 or PS4. I'm going to say PS3, but basically it was like it was some kind of like weird thing in a house, and then once you broke out of the house, it then revealed itself to be like a new Silent Hill game that was in development.
Right, okay.
But obviously Hideo Kojima who was directing it, had quite a nasty split with Konami. So at that point, there was all kinds of rights and because it was Norman Reedus, I think that was the character that you played as. So it had him licensed. I think Benicio del Toro had something to do with it. So there was all kinds of license issues. So basically, they pulled it, but they then made it so even if you downloaded it in the past, you couldn't have it. So then PlayStations that have got PT installed on it are kind of like worth their weight in gold, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah,
your
at some
cam's
point,
froze, by the way.
my cam's froze.
Yeah. No, it's back.
It's all right on my StreamYard, I think. Is it okay?
It might be my connection.
I don't know. You've frozen a couple of times, but you seem to come back fairly quick. Are we doing a bit of that? Yeah. So yeah, PT was I think somebody like got the source code or something and did it on PC or something. But there was there was this thing, because again, forgive me if I get it wrong. There was something about some really freakish looking woman that jump scares you at different points. And someone hacked the game and hacked the camera, and the discovery was made that the woman is actually on you all the time.
Oh, okay.
But like when you turn around, she turns around, kind of thing. She's always behind you, and it's like that freaked me out even more, because it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. But it was have a look at it, mate. It was PT. You might have to Google something else other than just PT, like PT Hideo Kojima or Silent Hill PT or whatever. Hang on a minute, let me find you a link.
Oh, it might be better.
I've got a link to the Wikipedia page for it, mate.
Wiki.
I'll send it to you on Twitter.
Okie dokie.
There it is. Some bedtime reading for you, sir.
How do you say that? Initialism?
Yeah, just an L-shaped corridor. That was it. Yeah, there was a load of puzzles built into it. Those I never played it for obvious reasons, because horror game. But yeah, I remember like it being really lots of people raving about it for the atmosphere and the. I'm sure it was a puzzle to get out of the house, but yeah, it's basically one long corridor, which goes round to the right, and then you go through a door, and it repeats itself somehow. I remember something about that.
Like some of the screenshots remind me of like Resident Evil.
Well, yeah, but it was made. I mean, Silent Hill and Resident Evil have always kind of had. I mean, obviously they're different games by different studios, but they've always been synonymous together for me, like because they were the kind of original like survival horror kind of games for console that took off the genre.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know what you mean for it, but yeah, there is. I mean, because it was all set in this house with this like corridor that repeated itself. It will definitely have like a Resi 7 kind of vibe to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure it came out before Resi 7 did. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, that's a thing, mate. That's a thing.
Oh.
Is my voice coming through okay?
Yes.
Ah, that's perfect. Delightful, because my old microphone is gone, sir, and I have taken your advice and plunge, and I have bought myself a Wave 3.
See, I'm using the Wave 3, but the Black Ops 3, Black Ops 6 one.
Oh, where'd you get that from? Oh, posh boy.
Yeah.
Posh Boy with your Elgato partnership. Fantastic. It's do you not use a pop filter? Or have you not got one?
I have got pop filter, but I just didn't want to spoil it because it looks nice.
I see. It's only for the p and the b.
Yeah,
really, isn't it?
There is like a pop filter, like more or less built into the Wave 3.
Yeah, I watched a video on the Elgato YouTube which compared the Wave 3 without a pop filter, the Wave 3 with a pop filter, and a Blue Yeti Snowball without one.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I think it was just showing you what the pop filter did, probably trying to make you buy one. But yeah, it was I bought a bundle which came with it. But yeah, I did some like because obviously I've moved all my PC over, so I've got a new PC which is all kinds of meaty and all kinds of lit up and colourful, which is great. But moving stuff over from one PC to another is a pain in the ass. And there's a lot of stuff internally that I had on there, like business stuff, which I needed to keep. So I'm not getting rid of that PC or breaking it or anything yet. So it's still kind of down there waiting to be plugged back in. But like the amount of cables that make up a PC is bloody terrifying. Like, you know, there's I still use a wired keyboard. I still use a wired mouse.
Same.
And then I've got a ring light which I haven't got turned on at the moment. I've got a camera. I've got a microphone. I've got a capture card, like an external capture card as well as an internal one.
Yeah. Then
I've got my phone dock charger, so I put my phone on a little dock and it charges it. I've got what else have I got plugged in to this? I've got my Guitar Hero guitar, which has to go in. I've got a Wi-Fi extender, which is plugged into the USB on the top. Just again, most of the time it's wired. Well, it's always wired, but like I don't know, if for any reason the connection drops for the wire, like it's backed up by wireless, which has then got like a backup through because it's with like EE or whatever it is, like BT. So if your internet goes down, it will connect to 5G and everything. So I've got that plugged in. I can't remember if there's anything else, but I've got like 10 things plugged in via USB, and of course there's never enough ports on them, so I end up having to buy like little extenders and USB drivers and stuff.
Have you ever thought about getting a Stream Deck Plus with a USB hub?
No, I haven't thought about that. That's another thing I've got plugged in. I've got a bloody Stream Deck plugged in. I didn't know, to be honest, mate. I don't know. Like I've had a Stream Deck for a couple of years.
Yeah.
And mate, I swear by it. I swear by it, like for everything. Because what I was saying earlier about getting in such a mess with it, I've got so many folders because it's like, you know, I use Photoshop a lot. So one of the wonderful things with Photoshop is that most actions on Photoshop have got a hotkey. You know, the hotkey that you can, you know. I'm not very great at remembering the hotkeys for everything. And especially if I flick between Photoshops and After Effects. And then sometimes I use GIMP, you know, like the free version of Photoshop. Because it's quicker. Like it's not as good, but it renders stuff quicker than Photoshop. But of course it's got completely different macros like for that. So literally I've got like Photoshop folders on my Stream Deck that it's like, cool, if I need to, you know, I had to fucking cut and insert a layer. Like rather than trying to go, oh shit, what Control Alt and L, I just press the button. It's like that's what your Stream Deck's for. Like all those sort of things. Like it's just so good for it. But yeah, it's I've got a normal one, which is like the 15 button one.
Yeah.
So I thought a mini's way too small for what I need. At the time, I looked at it and thought, well, hang on a minute. Like you can make folders within folders, so you basically got infinite amount of, you know, things that you can put onto the Steam. Yeah. So I kind of thought, well, why would you need an XL then? You don't need that many buttons. And now, of course, I curse the fact that I bought a normal one because I need more buttons. Like 15 buttons sounds like a lot, but when you're doing a live stream and you have stupid sound effects that you press all the time, 15 buttons doesn't go far enough, because one of those buttons allows you to go back a folder. Like, so it's actually only 14 buttons. And before I know it, by the time I've put a ding button, a dong button, and a fucking clap and a crowd cheer and a laugh, I'm almost out. And it's like, oh shit, I need to actually be, careful with what I put on it. So yeah, I do think at some point I'm going to upgrade to a bigger one. My camera's the next one that I need to change, because like every streamer that started in 2015, there was only one camera that you should buy at the time, which was a Logitech C920.
Yeah, that's what I
because
had.
it was every single. It's amazing, mate. Every single content creator I've ever spoken to, they always say their first camera was a C920.
Yeah,
everybody, because it was just the best one to buy. But bless it, here it is. How old are you now?
I'm 43 next
No,
week.
no, not you, mate. I'm talking to my camera.
Sorry.
That's all right. Happy birthday for next week, then, mate.
Thank you.
My camera is now not 10 years old, I think, and I've never changed it. So in that time, I remember using the microphone on that camera when I first got it, because it's all I had. And then I remember buying like some headset that had a microphone that I used for my stream for a while. And then I bought a Blue Snowball Ice, and then I upgraded to a Blue Yeti, and then I had a HyperX Quadcast, and now I finally bought myself an Elgato Wave 3. And it was like, I looked at this and thought about it for so long, because I nearly went the XLR route, but I realized again, you need an XLR kit though, don't you? Like,
you need the Wave XLR and the cable and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't got a mixer, and I hate wires, and I've got too many wires. For
it. The Wave XLR does it all for you.
Yeah, and then you download mic, isn't it?
No, this is an XLR mic.
Yeah, but mic. What do you plug it into?
Well, you plug it in with a cable.
What, with a USB?
No, with the XLR cable. I haven't got it connected, but you connect it up with the XLR cable.
Has your PC got an XLR input on the back of it?
No. It goes all through the Wave XLR. The Wave XLR connects up to the Wave DX, and then you connect the Wave XLR up to your USB computer, and the software.
That's what I mean. So the Wave XLR is your mixer, right?
Oh yeah, I suppose. Yeah.
It's like a thing, isn't it? That's got like volume controls on it and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's a mixer. Yeah. And it's I haven't got a mixer, so I looked at like a Go XLR set and all that sort of thing, because I love what you can do with those. You can change your voice on them, you can add effects to it, you can you can completely control the audio. So it's kind of like, because I know like the Wave 3 has got that it's got the Elgato software that you can link it through, and you can basically do like a digital audio mixer on your computer, which is great. But again, it's another thing to have open running at the same time and blah blah blah. Whereas having a physical mixer on your desk, you can if your music's too loud, you can just turn it down.
Yeah,
which is great. And you can do all your audio controls on the fly. So I understand why it's a lot better system. But at the same time, you're talking for a decent XLR setup and a decent XLR mic. You're talking anywhere between £400 and £800.
Yeah,
it's a lot of money compared to what it cost me to buy the Wave 3. So I've kind of gone. This will be my last. Depending on whether I continue to create content on a regular basis, this will be my last USB mic. I think after this, I will go the XLR route. But again, I'm looking at it with my camera as well, because I've thought about Elgato Facecam. And I've looked at the Facecam Pros, which look fantastic and everything. My biggest problem stopping me doing it at the moment is then thinking, well, for the amount of money that it costs, because it's an expensive camera. Obviously, it's excellent because it's 4K 60, and there's very few webcams that will legitimately do that.
So that's what I'm using now.
What, the Facecam Pro?
Yeah.
It's a marvelous camera. It really is. The thing is, though, is for that price range that you're looking at, because it's the best part of 300 quid, that camera.
Yeah.
You are literally then looking at like DSLR cameras, like admittedly only the body. You know, you struggle to get a decent DSLR camera with a lens. But in terms of the body that you use, you can pick one of those up for that sort of price. And again, you know, I know there's the added complexity of running it because you need a capture card and stuff like that. But I've already got one of those, and like my external, well, I've got 2 capture cards, so you know it wouldn't take much to do. But the obvious advantage of having a DSLR camera is then if you want to create content away from your computer, you've got an incredible camera to film with.
Yeah.
Whereas the problem I've got with the Facecam Pro is that if I unplug it from my computer, nothing happens. Like, it doesn't work. It's not a portable camera. Like, it needs the computer to power it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, cool, I can create content sat here in 4K and look, you know, it all looks great. But when I want to kind of like pick my camera up and go and film my games up close,
yeah,
I'd still have to then get my phone out and do it, which just, I don't know. So I'm kind of on the fence with it, as to what to do. And again, it's one of those things in terms of, I don't know. I feel like we're going to get into a deeper conversation there about Twitch and stuff in general. But I kind of feel with content creation at the moment, Twitch has always been such a hard nut to crack, hasn't it? Because
yeah,
you know, it's one of the few that's got a proper, you know, tiered approach to it. So you got, you know, your entry level streamers, you got your affiliates, you got your partners and your partner pluses and everything. But you know, the partners and the partner pluses, you know, they have to give them the front pages. They have to give them the, you know, the algorithm has to work in their favor to keep them on the platform. And it's at the detriment of everybody else. And it is one of those, mate. It's like somebody who is involved in the marketing of video games, like who understands the metrics that we use to analyze whether or not a channel is worth supporting or not. Twitch is a really, really hard one to build because, you know, everyone looks at concurrent viewers, and it's you can't build it on Twitch without building it on other things.
No,
like I've said this to lots of people lots of times. The easiest thing, in fact, the only easy thing about being a Twitch streamer is clicking go live. That's the only easy bit, right? Because you then play your game, right? You create your content, you do whatever you do. You make your jokes, you entertain your chat, you know, put a pink wig on and play a guitar like a dick. Whatever you do, right? That's your content. That's the content that you make on Twitch. And for Twitch, then it's kind of like done. Like it's, you know, obviously Guitar Hero is not a great one to do because I can't back up my VODs because of DMCA and everything.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like there, it's pushed out, off it goes. And it's like somebody, like, if you think of the journey for the person that you're trying to attract to your stream, to your content, you've got every single other streamer on Twitch is technically a competitor, because if you want eyeballs, everyone else wants those same eyeballs, and there's only a finite number of people that use Twitch, right? So automatically it becomes a challenge, because are you creating the content under the category that people want to see? And that's, you know, question mark kind of thing. The other thing as well is that the algorithm always works against you, because, you know, the people that have got more concurrence, more followers, bigger audiences, bigger viewership, they will always rank higher in the search features. So when someone searches for the category that you're creating content in, there's going to be a load of people above you. So you're then waiting for that filter to come down to you. and you're talking about, like, if you're looking at a funnel, right? The number of people at the top is great. There's lots of people watching Twitch. By the time you actually filter down to what you're creating, that funnel is absolutely minuscule, which is why it's so hard to grow your viewership on Twitch. The solution is that you take the content that you make on Twitch and then you put it out everywhere else. You put it, you dissect it down into small chunks that you could put onto YouTube, you could put onto TikTok, you could put onto Twitter, you could put, and I am still calling it Twitter. Fuck Elon Musk, it's Twitter, right? You put it onto Twitter, you put it onto Instagram, you put it anywhere else, right? Most of those platforms have very basic editing software that you can do it for you. Or you can use, Microsoft Clipchamp or whatever, like free things that can very easily edit videos. And that's actually the only way that you've got really to grow your audience. Unless your content is unbelievably brilliant and you happen to get raided by somebody massive and everybody starts talking about you, there's a sliver of a tiniest of percentage chance that might happen. But other than that, you've got to go out and you've got to put content everywhere, because it's the only way you grow your Twitch. So if you're a content creator and Twitch is your primary platform, you're doing it wrong. And it's really, as someone who's been on Twitch for 9 years, it's a really frustrating thing to say, the state of Twitch in terms of trying to build a viewership there. But like I've seen, and again, I sit here and preach the theory a lot, and it's very easy to look at my content and go, well, you don't put anything on YouTube, you don't put anything on TikTok, because I don't. But I'm not trying to be a full-time content creator. I'm an international marketing and PR manager for a video game publisher. I don't need whatever small chunks of revenue Twitch gives me from subscribers. I don't need that to pay my mortgage and feed my family. So I don't feel like I need to do it. But I said to Deb like a week and a half ago when I made that Evercade unboxing video, it's like I just wonder, like, how hard is it to grow a channel? Like, how hard is it to build it? And what content works on certain things and stuff like that. So I've got some content that I've done and lined up to just experiment as much as anything. And it's crazy, but the numbers that you get on all these other platforms compared to Twitch is eye-watering. Like, I put up, and it's also, mate, honestly, it's the amount of effort that goes into it. So to live stream something on Twitch in order to hit 100 live viewers for the average streamer, right? You're going to have to sit there for 6 hours creating content, endlessly policing your chat, endlessly waiting for the trolls to come in and try and sell you free viewers, endlessly waiting for the, for the invariable people to bitch about adverts running because you can't really control them, endlessly worrying about your bit rate, endlessly worried about whether your content's compelling and engaging and exciting and interesting, all those things for 6 hours in order to drive 100 viewers, right? The other day, I stood in front of my wall of Xbox games. I got my phone and I scrolled along it for about 20 seconds. I then went on to TikTok and I uploaded it and I added a sound, which was the final countdown by Europe, because, I'm nearly done on my collection. I've got like 57 games left to get. And I thought, I'm on the final countdown of my collection, so that's a good song to put on. I put it on, and it's like literally, I've had like 20 new followers. I've had like 2,500 views on it. I've had like 200 plus likes. And it's like, I mean, there was no effort put into that whatsoever. It's literally just like, hey, I've got a load of Xbox games. Those Xbox games sit behind me on Twitch endlessly. Like, they've been broadcast for fucking hundreds of hours on Twitch. Nobody gives a shit, right? Put it on TikTok and everyone's like, oh my God. And it's like the comments and the engagement and stuff like that. And it's kind of sat there and made me go, shit, like, TikTok's a thing. Like, TikTok's an incredible tool in terms of like getting people on board with what you do. So yeah, the more I've looked at it and thought about like cameras and what I want to do, I'm just looking more towards, I could buy like a Facecam Mark II, which again, for the price is an excellent camera, which would be a really sensible upgrade to my poor old Logitech, right? It would be a very sensible thing to buy.
Yeah.
The other option is to kind of go. I mean, you know, Gaz's picture quality is a lot better, like because he's using a Facecam Pro, which you know, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of how buttery smooth your frame rate is compared to mine. I'm jealous of, you know, the higher resolution of your eyebrows than mine, you know, and all that sort of thing. But it's kind of like, if I'm going to spend that amount of money, do I not want something that's a bit more flexible, as in like a DSLR camera? So, yeah, I'm kind of in that awkward point where I don't know what to do. But then, mate, I chucked away however much money on a PlayStation Portal, so don't trust my judgment on anything. Have you got one, by the way?
A PlayStation Portal?
Yeah.
No.
You should get one. You really should. Like, I don't want this to descend into, like, you know, talk that shouldn't be talking, right? But the overwhelming majority of Spider-Man 2 I played sat on my toilet. There was a point, mate. There was a point where Deb knocked on the door. She knocked on the door and she was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, you've been in there for a while. I was like, yeah, I'll be out in a sec. She's like, no, Lee, you've been in there for like 3 hours and 15 minutes. Like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, I'm playing Spider-Man. Like, I was literally sat on the toilet playing Spider-Man. 3 hours and 15 minutes. But, you know, thankfully my wife didn't divorce me, so it's all good. Amazing.
Right. Mum wants a cup of coffee.
A cup of coffee, mate. I need a cup of tea.
So,
no, absolutely delightful, mate.
Yeah, it's been good. Are you up to doing another one?
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Nice one.
Yeah, you just let me know when works for you.
All right then.
Pleasure
Right,
as
I'll
always.
just finish the stream then. So thank you everybody for watching. Absolute legends. Don't forget, check out Eternally HD over on Twitch with Guitar Hero and a few other games. Go and check him out.
Absolutely.
So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. No worries.
Love your faces.
Catch you later.
Take it easy. Bye.
End stream.